again. Here we go again. Messi! Mo Salah!
It's 3-0, it's game over.
The cross back in, it's a great ball, back pass! Oh, Western Sydney!
Hello and welcome back to the United by Football podcast. I'm Abs.
I'm Thomas, and today we've got a special guest. He's an Arsenal fan, so I'm outnumbered here. But you are?
Nick Stav. Good to have me on, guys. I'm looking forward to it.
Nah, should be good, brother.
Yeah,
Should be
we've
good.
penciled in this day for a while now.
We have. I mean, it's been long coming.
Yeah.
And the first guest on season 2, Abs.
It is. We thought we'd start it with a bang. We're like, you know what? Nothing else than someone to come and back me up myself.
It's my pleasure.
I've had Chelsea fan after Chelsea fan after Chelsea fan after Chelsea fan.
I'm a big man, so I don't need any backing, but that's okay.
That's fine, mate.
Carry on.
But I've brought the best.
He can do a 2v1. That's what he says.
That's
That's
it.
what he
He'll
says.
take us on. Well, let's kick it off. Tell them a bit about you.
Yeah, so I've just been uploading on TikTok. I'm a Twitch streamer, whether that's football or FIFA. But yeah, big Arsenal fan since I was young. But yeah, always taken a liking to football. I had a voice for things. If I have an opinion about something, I'll say it. So, and football's something I'm proud of.
Sometimes
That's
people
it.
like it. Sometimes people don't.
A lot of people don't, clearly.
Well, look, let's kick it off. I want to start with the FPL. Thomas, how have you gone this week with the FPL?
I would rather not, to be honest. Yeah, I would
mate.
rather not.
Look,
Stav, I'll tell you what, there's about 65 people in our league.
Yeah.
I'm in the lower quartile of that. I've had an absolute stinker.
Yeah.
I triple captain Palmer on the first week. Because
You don't ever go with your heart. That's what I always
yeah,
do
I
with
I
FPL.
realised that after the point tally came out, to be honest. It was a moment of realisation then.
Triple cut. You know what? Palmer actually played really well against City last year, so I don't mind the logic to it.
They're playing City in week 1.
I know, but he's got a hat trick at the bridge last year, was it?
He did.
Yeah,
He
he
did.
did.
Yeah. Palmer, yeah.
One season wonder. That's all right.
Relax yourself. It's one game.
So we'll give them a quick our podium at the moment.
Yep.
Okay, we've got Slotball Christian in first place, 83 points.
Slot.
Oh, mate. Frimping Pong FC. Jacob Castro in 79 points, and then Kuku Kukurea, your good mate Anthony,
He is, mate.
in
He is.
third place, 78 points. So
Where's Sydney FC on that podium?
currently right behind him on 76
Oh, we
points,
only
which is
take
me,
the top
mate.
three,
Which is me.
unfortunately. Stav, are you an FC guy or a Wanderers fan?
I'm an FC guy. I'm an FC. You're an FC. Yeah? Kyle, look, at the end of the day,
I love
what
him already.
I always say about the Sydney Derby is that Wanderers fans, if they were supporting the A-League, they were Sydney FC guys before. Am I wrong?
I agree.
I attended one game. I saw Terry McFlynn and I went, that's not for me. And then I dipped out.
Terry McFlynn. No. Now, look, at the end of the day, Sydney FC, Wanderers, I went through an era where my dad was where he was working. We'd get free tickets to Pertec every single week.
That's crazy.
And as much as I say, like, oh, you hate Wanderers revitalised the league
100%,
atmosphere-wise. You couldn't get an atmosphere football-wise, not even football sporting-wise,
Correct.
Like the
in
Wanderers.
Australia
Yeah.
like the Wanderers offered.
Look, I'll give him credit. It was the one thing that was the closest thing to what we had in Europe.
Yeah,
They,
absolutely.
they brought that vibe, that passion, that love for the club.
100%.
Even as an FC fan, I can admit that the Wanderers, when they're getting going and when the fans are just there,
Yeah.
there's nothing like it.
100%. And I think Wanderers need a little bit more respect for that. I think once they left out of Pertec, that coincides with the way the A-League's, the whole A-League, not even just the Wanderers, started falling.
Absolutely. And for me, when Rebecca Wilson obviously wrote that stuff about the fan base, for me, you either have, as Falcon, we had Falcon on last week, SC Hellas, and he goes, you've either got the TV viewership or you got the active fan base. We didn't have the TV viewership, we never had, but we had that fan base. We had that key core fans that went, you know what, we're going to show up every week for an identity. Not the results. Just for the club, for the boys, for the banter. Once they ruined that and villainised us,
We're left with nothing.
correct.
Exactly.
Look, I wanted to reveal one thing though,
Tell me.
and this at least rewards our fans, unlike some people who didn't reward their fans at certain clubs. Our FPL prizes for the 24-25 season. So we've partnered with Lightweight Athletic as they've joined us as a sponsor of the show, Lightweight Athletic Club. So their stuff's insane.
Okay.
In terms of what they produce, it's all produced overseas, produced through Portugal.
Yeah.
When it comes to a lot of their socks as well, produced through the same factory that Puma have Manchester City and Borussia Dortmund produced through there as well. But they've partnered with us for first place. The first place winner gets a 24-25 jersey of their choice. And
Who would you choose, Stav, if you won the league? Is it Arsenal?
Cool. It has to be the Gunners, no? I'm really liking that third kit, man.
third kit, yeah,
yeah.
the
From Monsters
blue one.
Inc., Sully.
Yeah, bro. People always put those memes out. Look, the Lynx Africa kit, I can't get behind the Lynx Africa kit, but the Sully Monsters Inc. kit,
That's his
people can hate
favourite.
it. I love it. I love it
Look,
as
I
well.
copied both, mate.
course you did.
I'm happy with those.
He's blinded by the club, man.
I'm-
They're seeing him as a dollar sign. That's
That is
what
the
they're
best
seeing him
sentence
as.
I've heard on the 24 episodes of the podcast. That's the best sentence.
Look, you know what else I'm blinded with? The 10 items I'm going to get to pick from Lightweight Athletic Club.
You're not coming first. Go
I'm
on.
coming first, mate. I'm
Alright,
coming first.
alright.
We'll run through quickly. Second place, it gets a $50 gift card of your choice, and then 6 items of your choice from Lightweight Athletic Club. And then third place gets a $30 gift card, and then 4 items of your choice from the Lightweight Athletic Club range.
Do you know what I'm interested in? Because obviously I'm not coming anywhere near that podium, Nick, with my Palmer choice. I'm interested in the UBF 15. So is the code active?
Yes, it is.
So any purchase that you make through Lightweight Athletic Club on their online store, type in the code UBF15 and you get 15% off your purchase.
Oh.
Do you know that?
I knew that, mate. Thank you.
Stav, there you go, mate. If you didn't know that.
If you don't know, get to know.
Look, sorry, this may sound like a bit of a plug-in, mate, but we started season 2. We said we'd start with a bang, and then there we go, mate. But
That's it.
You know, we'll start with a bang.
Exactly.
The mighty
exactly.
Arsenal, mate.
The Cannons.
2-0.
Gunners.
So Havertz put away the Saka cross. Mate, they're becoming signature, those crosses.
Yeah, they are.
So-
Cut inside.
So the Kai Havertz goals as well, mate.
Relax,
Mate,
mate.
is
He's a big Havertz guy, this one.
is
eh?
my Pookie Bear, man. What do you expect?
Listen, enough about your relationship with a. But I saw something: 17 goals and assists in 15 games. Am I right for Havertz?
Havertz, since back end of the season,
Correct.
bro, probably one of Arsenal's informed
in
players.
15, I think it was...
In 15,
17.
17.
In 13 starts, he's had 15 goals and assists.
Wow.
At number 9.
Wow.
So he's proving to be a pivotal point for us up front. And then he provided the assist for the Saka goal. What a goal. What a goal.
Yeah, it was. Probably more of Bukayo Saka than it was really of Kai Havertz. But no, at the end of the day, Kai Havertz is getting on the end of those balls. Like I said to you, he's an outlet. I think that's the main thing with Kai Havertz now. I don't think he's a creative masterpiece. He's not a finishing touch, but he's an outlet up there, bring up the ball, lay it off. Or he gets on the end of crosses. He's 6'4", isn't he? I think he's
Yes.
even closing at 6'5".
That's
Really
your
tall.
height, yeah?
Yeah, I'm 6'5", lads. Just remember that, yeah.
He's hiding a lot of leg under the table.
That's it, man. I've got the seat bit down just to give me a good view, yeah?
Just to make sure, so we all feel a bit,
Exactly, on my level, yeah.
Mate, relax yourself. 6'7", calm down.
Look, a bit of stats from that game. Arsenal produced 18 shots. They had 6 shots on target to Wolves' 9s. They had 3 on target. So realistically, Wolves had a few chances. David Raya pulled out a few good.
Brilliant save. Brilliant save.
Some of those saves that he pulled out, I think there was one who was kind of mid-air, and
he had to
his
change.
body was going one way,
Yeah.
and he had to change and go the other way.
For me, though, what concerned me, obviously from an outsider looking in, 46th minute to 73rd, I think when Saka scored, you guys run to the pump.
Yeah, we were.
Wasn't your best performance. Do you put it down to anything, Stav?
I think I put it down to rust. Really, like you saw Saliba gave away the ball a couple of times. Thomas Partey.
That was scary.
Zinchenko looked a bit out of his depth out there. Look, you're coming back after not only a long season, a Euros wasn't too long of a turnaround to come into. But if that's the performance they give after all that, I think I'm still pretty proud of it.
I'm going to put it down to something else. I think Zinchenko. I think Zinchenko started to tire out around the 60th minute mark.
Yeah, but it was from the 46th.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
you
no.
do realize something though. Once he kind of gets tired out and isolated, he's such a key pivotal role to how we play. You notice where he goes from the left side of the field to the right side, comes into midfield. When Saliba misplaced that ball, generally you've got a Zinchenko right there in front of him to be the outlet.
It was supposed to be to Gabriel, wasn't it, though?
He played it to Gabriel instead. The pressure was there. There was no outlet in midfield, so they could press 2 people on him at once. So when it came to kind of that side of it, I think he's kind of half the reason we were able to look a bit dodgy for 15, 20 minutes. But when he came off, we saw her on the other side.
Yeah.
Yuri and Timber came on and we just absolutely smothered
Yeah,
him.
looked unbelievable. Genuinely looked like he had the feet of a winger out there at times during Timber. Beat the press once in the 18-yard box.
saw
Looked
the
out-
turn?
Oh, unbelievable. I noticed that when he was the Community Shield last year against Man City, he was great. And even before he did his ACL against Nottingham last year, he's a great player. Look, Arsenal got a lot of depth across that back line this year, and I think that's a strong suit for
So what's
us.
your back four then? Starting.
My back four, for me, it's hard to have Timber out of there, but I'd love to see Calafiori go in there at left back, and then I'd have Saliba, Gabriel, and then obviously Ben White. Those three I think are a knock on.
Yeah.
It's whoever you want in there. Julian Timber probably suits more of the slot into midfield like Zinchenko does because he is more liberating. He can go around.
Yeah.
But I just think Calafiori is just a bit more stable. A bit more stable, cause a bit of trouble, and he can float in the middle as well.
He did it against Croatia as well, so... Yeah,
Look,
I
it's
saw
gonna be
that.
it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard to see.
Yeah.
I don't know. Timber's a good player, man. You can't tell me unless he plays back up to White.
But what I'm trying to say is, I think some people are going like, you got to have this starting 11 like that for the whole season. The team changes.
Absolutely.
Pep Guardiola, like one season Bernardo Silva was their best player. The next season's on the bench. Look at Jack Grealish. He had that stint going into the Champions League final where everyone was loving him. Pep couldn't get enough of him, and now he can barely get 10 minutes off the bench.
Correct.
That's what happens in the Man City system. And if we want to push in the Champions League and the Premier League,
You're going to have to do that.
competition in those positions is going to help us.
And I think, given we've got effectively 5 left backs, I think each one suits a different style of play. I do think when you come up against the Man City, having someone like a Timber might actually be able, the one thing we do struggle when we do play Man City is holding the ball and pushing them back.
Yeah.
More often than not, we're hitting them on the counter.
But when you fight fire with fire, who's going to win that fire?
Man City, yeah, I agree. I'd actually go down his route and I'd play like a Calafiori. It's the same when we play like Liverpool. I remember we put Tomiyasu on Liverpool on Salah one game, and he just gave him nothing. I think I agree with you in that time. If we're going to play Man City, I think if we're going to get a result from, especially away from home, you can't play like Man City. They're always going to be better than us like that.
But I don't think they have someone like him.
Who?
If you're playing Timber in the back line, they don't have that. Gvardiol can go forward, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But I think the thing with Gvardiol is he's very much an overlapping left back more than he is an inverting, whereas you play him, you've got the extra number in midfield.
Yeah, I agree with you. But what I'll say to that is that Man City got Stones that will step in and do that role from the centre. And that's why they are going to play with 2 natural centre backs at fullback.
And don't forget, with Stones, he sort of started that coming into midfield.
Exactly.
He was the first of the first.
Yeah,
And then
true.
the midfield's Rodri, De Bruyne. We're not competing like that.
mate,
I think the best time we did get a result against them away was last year, where we were playing pretty deep football. But I don't think we tried to play good football against them 2 years ago, and we got smoked. Yeah, it wasn't with our proper
Rob Holding at the back.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But you know what? He scored that game in all fairness to him. But I agree. I think if you play on Man City's level, they're gonna kill you like that.
Now, look, I wanted to ask another question. I noticed Partey wasn't. He doesn't have it anymore.
Yeah, look, if you told me 2 years ago who I thought Arsenal's best player in that team was, I would have said Thomas Partey. I think a lot of people sometimes, if they don't watch him, they profile him as this guy that wins ball and what. Thomas Partey's best attribute, and I've said it, he knows where to take his first touch every single time. He will beat a press, like not like at a Sergio Busquets level, but very underrated that when he gets the ball, opens up his body straight away and he'll beat that press. Where now he kind of does look like it is, I don't know if I'll call it rust, or maybe it's old age coming up. Even saw, I think they played it to him edge of the box and he just air swung it at one point.
Yes.
Yeah, look, he wasn't even getting into that team at the end of the year, even when he came back fit. Jorginho was in there with Declan Rice. But look, if we're going to bring in Mecco Marino, there's another option in midfield there.
I think you've got him, you've got Jorginho as backup now. I think Rice is just well suited to that 6 position.
He's locked on.
Yeah.
Look, Declan Rice was playing good football in that 8 at one point last year, but I still think Declan Rice's best attribute is winning ball. He's winning ball.
100%.
So.
But I think with Partey, because I saw a moment where he kind of tried to trick the bloke. He tried to, play an overstep, done a U-turn, and then went back again and lost the ball. And I'm like, that's not Thomas Partey.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Thomas Partey used to take one touch where you drop a shoulder and open up, and he beat it a phase in the midfield. So it's hard because I really do like Thomas Partey. Yeah. I did. I have a soft spot for him when he came into that start.
No, look, fair enough.
But I get what you're saying, 100%. He's not at his best, 100%. No.
Look,
we brought him in at like 28 as well. So
I think we got him in Emery's last season, I'm pretty sure.
No, it was Mikel's first summer transfer window.
It was
the same window as Gabriel.
2020, 2021.
I think it was one of your first signings.
It was.
And for me, listen, we're going to speak about Arsenal because I see this lovely question highlighting bold. Well done, Abdul, for that. How will Wolves cope with the loss of Neto? Because for me, listen, you put it down to Raya's couple of brilliant saves. I think if Neto's there, he puts one away.
I agree. Hwang Hee-chan, if he just had a little bit of finishing touch to him, we could have had issues there. But I agree with you. Pedro Neto, every single time I watch Wolves, he always causes a problem.
Yeah.
And I've said it this summer, I think the one signing I'd say Chelsea have actually made a good signing is Pedro Neto.
Yeah.
The question mark is his injury. If you said to me, I'd take him as winger depth, if you gave me a selection of wingers, I probably had a Pedro Neto in a top 3 there. He's a game changer. He really is. When he puts his head down, not a lot of people are stopping him.
And he's young. He's 24.
Oh, he's been if I remember right, he killed Spurs last year.
Yeah.
If I remember. Yeah, that was it. Great game.
It was away.
Yeah.
You got to look at Wolves as well. They lost Jimenez about 2 seasons ago, I think.
It was through the head knock. And
Through the head knock. And then
David Luiz.
they kept Hwang Hee-chan, and then Neto's now left. They're losing pieces by piece. Neves left. Moutinho's gone.
They're losing their Portuguese score,
They're
man.
losing their Portuguese score. Nuno left. But I don't know, man. They played really well. Look, I'll give them credit. I actually think they played well against Arsenal, but I don't see them putting up a fight even enough to go 11th or 12th.
They're not coming top half.
They're not coming top half.
They're gonna be from your pecking order between 11th to 17th.
Absolutely.
They're not gonna get relegated.
No.
But at the end of the day, you're coming to the Emirates, and they put in a performance like that. It's hard to judge early on in the start. It's like Ipswich Town. I'm pretty sure they got Man City this week.
Yeah.
Poor guys had Liverpool first round as well, so it's going to be hard to judge for those teams.
We'll get
in
on to
their first few
Liverpool,
rounds.
but
Yeah.
let's say May time. We're coming there. Well, I know Abs will be in London at that time. Is the trophy parade coming to the Emirates this year?
Look, I feel like you got to see it to believe it. I'm going to say Arsenal are going to win it. I think this is the best season that we can win it in.
I agree.
I look at it, I go, I think we got the best defense in the league.
I agree.
Our midfield's going to control games. Arsenal look threatening off set pieces. So even if we're down and out, we've got an option there to score goals. My only question mark is Kai Havertz the number 9? I'm not too sure.
I think so, bro. Honestly, who are you going to bring in that's going to be able to do what he can do? Without changing the way we play.
Look, I know what you're saying, but we said that about Man City 2 years ago. They brought in an Erling Haaland who's so stiff.
Yeah, but
yet
you've got guns blazing behind him, though.
But this is what I think I look at Kai Havertz. He's just too in the motions. And I know you brought it up to me off camera. A lot of games in the back end of the season gets those big teams. He was scoring goals. But I look at performances like Anfield away last year. He almost was too shy to get on the ball.
Yeah.
What about Newcastle away last year? Our best player on the field.
If he's our best player in a game that we're losing, then
hold on though. It was that controversial game, and he was the only one that was ready to get in the nitty gritty side of it. You gotta think of that side of it.
Look, you want to know the truth about that nitty gritty? I think he was getting frustrated in that game. He was even lucky. If they could have pushed that one way and given him a red card in that challenge. 100%. Kai Havertz, I look at him, he's too lackadaisical, too in the motions.
Yeah.
You said grit. I don't think he does have that to his game.
I don't know.
I think that's what we lost when we were playing him in the number 8 when Granit Xhaka was there.
Oh, I agree.
Granit Xhaka, 90% of his Arsenal career was pretty trash. I hated Granit Xhaka. But the one thing you couldn't hate on him, he was a pit bull.
Absolutely.
He was a pit bull. And he had something, a bit of steel to midfield. And you look, when we took Havertz out of midfield and played him as a 9, and used him to, like I said. Exactly. And Havertz at the 9, like I said, more of an outlet, bring the ball down, move the ball on.
The thing is, we never replaced Xhaka. Like, that's the problem. And we still haven't.
No. But am I going to sit here and go Granit Xhaka was the world's best midfielder? No,
he
he's
wasn't.
not.
But he was
not.
he was a vital cog into how we played in that last season that he had with us. But when it came to the number 9 for me, at least, who are you going to bring? Like, give me an example.
Look,
no one's been able to give me an example.
No, but I agree with you because the worlds of the number 9s these days, there aren't great number 9s out there.
Few and far between.
Exactly, but you can't even say that Gabriel Jesus, when he came off the bench on the weekend against Wolves, wasn't great. I thought he was great.
He was great.
I thought he was great. And people forget that first stint before he got injured, leading to the World Cup. Gabriel Jesus was probably the second best striker in the league at that point, behind Erling Haaland.
Yeah. But he's also, there was a stat I mentioned months ago.
Yeah.
He doesn't shoot enough. He takes 2.85 touches before he shoots. 100%. Erling Haaland takes under 2 touches before he shoots.
Abs, I'm going to interrupt you there. My good friend here possibly made the most ludicrous statement I've ever heard last week. I posed Abs the question. I said, Abs, hypothetically, if we had Haaland at Arsenal, you wouldn't get more points?
No.
And he goes, no.
Come
Thank you very much.
Because I was going to say that to you. I know you were saying, what other striker are you going to get out there? We've got no one at that level that's going to produce like Erling Haaland.
We can't function. Watch when I'm not saying this bloke is not anywhere near the level of Erling Haaland.
No, but it's bad.
Hold on. But look at it logically. This is what kills me. Yes, he scores more goals, But when we play Eddie Nketiah up front, how do we look?
Yeah, but Eddie Nketiah is that's
Okay,
that's
but
true.
different type
I
of
know
striker.
you're looking at styles, yeah. But
Yes.
like I told you before, Man City weren't even playing with the striker 2 years
Yep.
ago. They were playing with Phil Foden, Raheem Sterling,
They
floating.
were able to pass the ball around like no tomorrow.
I thought like you, and I thought when Erling Haaland came in, it could have been a problem for Man City. And then Pep Guardiola just smacked us in the mouth.
Yeah,
and
but-
we can say that, but once you trial it,
Yeah, because he went.
what I'll say, sorry to do that. There's a reason why Mikel Arteta wanted Ivan Toney for so
Of
long
course,
as well.
man.
Because he can do what Kai can do and
Oh,
shoot.
he's not moving.
Salam,
Like,
No, but he can play with the ball at his feet.
he can take a touch and
He
move,
can-
but I
yes.
wouldn't say he's still pretty stiff.
Abdul, take your Arsenal kit off. I'm pretty surprised if there's a Havertz face right there, right next to your heart. Listen to me. You just said, and you answered it right there before Stav said anything. You just said it. Haaland will score you more goals than Havertz, yes? One second.
Yes.
What do goals generally do? They win football games.
Okay, but look at
You get
what I'm
more
about to
points, there's
say.
your
No,
answer.
no.
There's
Yeah,
your
we're
answer.
not moving on.
What do you
We're
mean?
going to move on in a minute.
Of course you will.
He will score more goals, but the rest of the team won't score as much as they do.
It doesn't matter about that.
No, I agree with you like that.
Yeah.
Look, you look at that Arsenal side now, and we're not going to have a person that's going to be in the top 8 goal scorers in
No.
the league. We're not. But if we're going to be winning games, we're winning games. But I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and say, if we had an Erling Haaland, that's not going to win us games. It will.
you very much, of course.
I look at some games that season City won the treble with Erling Haaland coming in, and it was like backs against the wall. Cancelo would throw in some heinous cross like he did against Dortmund, and Haaland somehow gets on the end of the ball
Correct.
and wins them a game.
That's it.
Sometimes we're in those situations where we can't change up our dynamic.
Yeah.
And the fact that Man City can play both ways,
Fair
Arsenal
play.
versus Bayern
Fair
Munich
play to
Champions
them.
League. Those
Yeah.
last 10 minutes you had him, you were pumping balls. I'll never forget the corner. Saka takes the corner, 98th minute. He delivers that. If he puts it a bit higher, Haaland's on the front post, he gets at him.
Look,
on,
again,
man.
Haaland will score more goals. I just don't think it would benefit the team as a whole. I'm
Nah,
looking at it
brother.
from a
look, I
team
don't want
point
to
of
be put in
view.
the situation where I'm hating on Kai Havertz because I'm not. But I'm not going to sit here and listen
Of
to that. If you
course,
told me
man.
Haaland, I'd swap Haaland for Kai Havertz, I would bite your arm off.
Okay.
I
Look,
would
at
bite
the
your
end of
arm
the
off.
day, I'll die by the sword.
Yeah.
In the
Die by the sword.
I'll die by the sword, and
That's
I'll
unbelievable.
say the 11 we have at the moment. Add Mikel Merino in there. I think to how Mikel wants to play is perfect
But can I ask you this question? 11 v 11 on paper,
on paper.
Man City better than Arsenal or no?
Like
please don't be dumb.
like doing a combined 11 type of thing.
No.
I think just them.
Just-
Just.
Just. Not even combined 11, just like
I think just.
Position for position, you think that Arsenal's better than
They
City?
got a better keeper.
No. I'm saying
I wouldn't even take into consideration keeper. I look at it in the sense like back line, midfield, front line.
I think our back
I
line.
think back line, yes.
we've got.
Yes.
them, personally.
Midfield,
Nah.
our midfield's good, but their midfield controls game more than us. And then front line wise, they've got a better front
can't
line.
compare.
They've got a better front.
They've got a better striker.
Oh God, here we go.
Haaland's a better striker. Saka's probably at right wing, and left winger Trossard, Martinelli. We don't know who we're going to start in that
Probably
area.
Foden on the left.
Exactly.
So it's fairly even.
It's
Ferrari.
barely even.
Yeah.
It's barely even, but it's like it's Haaland and Havertz, and then you've got like Saka and Foden up here, but that's the massive gap.
Yeah. No, look,
And even
it's fair.
Kevin De Bruyne, I love Odegaard, but Kevin De Bruyne again's a different level. Rodri's a different level.
Yeah.
Bernardo Silva's a different level. And then even if we do say our backline's better, Ruben Diaz doesn't get a lot of respect that he deserves.
No, he
John
doesn't.
Stones is brilliant. Gravadiol's brilliant. Ake's brilliant. Walker's back end of his career, but Walker at least for City. Sorry, probably talking on this a bit too long.
No,
but
good.
one thing with Kyle Walker is that he offers pace. I remember that game we lost 4-1 at the Etihad. It was like, even when City were controlling the ball and we'd press them into that corner, at least they had an outlet to throw it to Haaland. I remember Ruben Diaz just humps the ball long. Haaland, bang, puts it down, plays with the Kevin De Bruyne and a goal. And that's what they got. And then even if he wanted to hit on the break, Kyle Walker would just snuff everything out because of his pace. It was...
100%. It's look, again, I don't think I'd ever realize this, but the one time we actually got an Arsenal fan on here, I feel like I'm actually like very biased, which is the first time I've actually very felt it. But
Look, I think I'm getting PTSD over these years, just like bigging up Arsenal a bit too much.
I just think tactically,
He's a realist. I respect
no,
that.
no, no.
I know where you're coming from. You're
Yeah.
saying the way we play football, the way players are moving in and out. I understand.
I'm looking
that.
from a team point of view,
Yeah.
from how I see it as a football, as a tactic point of view. I just don't think when people say, "Oh, traditional striker, Arsenal need a goal scorer," unless it's Harry Kane. With all due respect,
Yeah.
what are you laughing at?
No, Harry
Unless
Kane's-
it's Harry Kane who can do both, score goals and actually play.
Harry
the ball
Kane's
with
going to
his
come
feet.
to Arsenal. Yeah.
Theoretically, mate. Theoretically, relax. Theoretically,
You're a
unless
different
it's Harry Kane, there's no one else that could effectively do both.
I don't know. My opinion just always changed in that argument ever since I saw Erling Haaland do what he did at
Yeah.
Man City with Pep Guardiola.
Fair enough. Do you want to lead us into the Erling Haaland at least then now?
I'm still a bit shocked by the Haaland thing. And Stav shut you up in 2 minutes was the best thing to see.
Mate.
Anyway, Man City 2, Chelsea 0. I think we'll move on swiftly from that. we need to talk about that.
Get into it, mate. Get into it.
Do you know what's like a dagger in my heart? The ex-Chelsea midfielder and the Croatian, my fellow blood, does me. Can I just, did you see the goal?
Yeah.
Mate. His whole body's shaping for the far corner, puts it near post.
Look, I thought Kovacic, when he came into the start of City last year, just kind of looked out of place.
Yeah.
I mean, even against Arsenal, he should have been sent off twice in that
Correct.
game at the Emirates.
Correct.
But back end of the year, honestly, one of Man City's best players in midfield. But I think also that goal, like Enzo's just letting him walk, glide
Caicedo,
past.
then Enzo.
Yeah,
Both of them, mate.
And I think that's, if I was a Chelsea fan, that would grind me the wrong way. I hate watching that. Do you know what that goal kind of reminded me of? I think you might remember it. Can't remember the exact year, but Kante kind of just glided past Fabinho one year. Yeah. And that reminded me of that. It was just like, you're just too lazy to get to that. Not lazy, but just like, come on, like it's that stage.
I've got my paycheck. Don't really care. We'll lose you.
But that's what Enzo kind of gives me.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
And he's our captain.
Yeah, do you know what I saw?
That's all I need to say.
I saw a stat. Enzo's played 50 games for Chelsea, won 14. Won 14. Like, I know it's not all down to Enzo, obviously not, but I'm just like, I'm looking at that for 100 million and all the money Chelsea have pumped in and this manager next. And
Stav was 120, bro.
120 Enzo was.
That's embarrassing, bro.
I thought it was 105.
No,
So it was more than Rice.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, my apologies.
No, Caicedo was.
Caicedo was 120.
Ah,
My
yeah,
apologies.
yeah,
Sorry.
yeah.
They're both just
That's
as shit,
still-
both just as shit as each other,
Yeah.
to be honest. But it's like, and then we get excited about Joe Felix coming in.
Oh,
apparently.
no.
But no, I've got a question for you. Where's his actual locker room going to be? There's 48 players there.
Yeah.
The facility's not big enough.
In terms of frontline, where would you actually play him? I'm being honest, because Jack.
Centre forward.
Yeah,
Has to be.
My front line, I'm a big admirer of Noni Madueke.
yeah, you
don't-
do.
I don't know why. I fucking love Madueke.
He scored against us at the Emirates.
Correct,
didn't
he
he?
did.
Yeah, dude,
And
I
for
remember
him, I'd like to die. Palmer in the 10 for me. Left Neto.
Yep.
Up front Felix. Right Madueke.
Okay.
For me.
Yeah, I hear it. I was
me.
forgetting Neto as well. That's-
Sterling can go back to see. I don't know why the fuck.
Sterling had a decent start to last season, I remember. And then he just didn't keep the gas.
For me, it was a big you to City.
Yeah.
And then it was a...
Because he was right in that game at the bridge
Correct,
as well.
mate.
Yes,
Correct.
yes.
It was just embarrassing. But for me, Maresca, losing his first game in charge, okay, he got really, really a challenging task.
100%.
But it's like, our pre-season, we were shocking. Shocking.
Look, you know what? I
It's
think a lot of
scary
people are
times.
hating on this Maresca a lot too early. I think at the end of the day, he just came from Leicester. If he's going to try and play good football with Chelsea, I just feel for him in terms of signing-wise, it doesn't look like he has creative control of who he's bringing to
But
the
that's
door.
Bowley in a sense. He's taken that American route. The owner deals with everything. They
Yeah.
don't really give any control to anyone below them. You just do. I'll give you this. You work with it.
And that's why I'm saying it's like they got to give him a chance.
Yeah.
Play the football he wants, bring in the players he wants, and they'll do it. They weren't bad. You know what?
No, it wasn't bad.
Some of those penalties decisions, I'm not saying you should have got, but flip of the coin on a different day, you could get.
The handball one was a penalty.
You reckon that was a
I
pen?
think it was a penalty.
Always handball these days. I don't know
I
where
don't
to
even know
judge
anymore.
anymore.
I
I
don't
don't
know.
know where to judge. I agree.
Look, although I think they played well, I think a lot of it was. I don't think City were up. To
Yeah,
it.
yeah. I
City
think
weren't
that's a mix of
City.
it. It's a mix of it.
Like I think the way they were a bit more laissez-faire that game, but Chelsea, yeah, they're promising, and I've said for a while that they've got a lot of talent there. I think there's a lot of potential in that team, but you've got to harness it with a few senior players, man. Enough with these 22, 23-year-olds.
Yeah.
Yeah,
10-year contracts, bro.
Gel
That's
contract.
crazy. Yeah.
We'll get some senior players in 2033, no problem.
Yeah, the Cole Palmer will still
Oh,
be
bro,
there.
I'm Gene.
But you know what? Do you know the way I look at it? You guys are signing 23, 24-year-olds. Look, I hate Man United. But the one thing I've respected them this transfer window, you're bringing in a Matthias de Ligt. Yeah, he's still young at 24, 25, but played at Bayern Munich,
been
played
around.
at Juventus, played at some of the best
Absolutely.
clubs in European football. Same with Mazraoui. The only thing is, I said this to my mate the other day, and I go, de Ligt, it's like, if Juventus let him go and now Bayern
There's
have
a
let him
reason
go, there's
why.
got to be a reason.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's giving Varane. It's giving Varane.
Yeah, something smelly there. But Varane was a bit like, he completed everything in football.
Yeah.
Kind of, may as well give English football a crack. Where de Ligt, something just doesn't smell right there, I agree.
Oh,
but
yeah.
but the thing is with Chelsea, do you know what the thing is I say that, to rebuttal that? Arsenal over the last 3 years with Arteta, we've brought in 23, 24-year-old. I can't remember the
but
last
we've
time we
always-
brought
Our
in.
whole
But we-
squad is
hold on,
23.
hold on.
Yeah.
That's the
We've
difference.
always had that kind of that senior player to harness the squad. Even at a point, Rob Holding was that figure. As as that sounds, Rob Holding was
Oh
that
yeah, I
figure.
do. Look, I'm not saying that because I look at the Arsenal squad now. Like who'd be the oldest in that
You got
starting? 11?
Jorginho, you've got Zinchenko's I think 26, 27.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is from like a Chelsea perspective,
Jorginho.
I reckon they've 100% just looked at Arsenal's model and say, let's get these young guys in there.
Yeah.
But Arteta has obviously signing these players that he
Correct.
wants. That I think that's the big difference.
That's the big thing.
Exactly. Brought in Odegaard, who we knew and we had in that season alone. Havertz was on the Premier League. All these players, he has a bit of a idea of what he wants to bring into the side. Maresca doesn't look like they've given him the balls to do that.
No.
Same with Graham Potter. It's same with that. And even Pochettino probably didn't get that.
Like, you can make all the fun you want about these memes. Or I was looking at California last year. I fell in love. You can have all these memes on the fucking football pages, but at the end of the day, credit where credit's due. He's doing his scouting, which every coach does, but he's been given that freedom.
Yeah.
And I think that's the difference. And I think that's where Chelsea, for me, are in big trouble.
Yeah. Look,
trouble.
and again, that's going to work against Man United because if Eric Ten Hag doesn't get success with all these players he's brought in that he should know, Anthony from Ajax, Onana from Ajax, Lissandra from Ajax, Delic from Ajax, Mazzarelli from Ajax, he's brought his whole boys together. If he can't succeed, then that blames
There's
on
a
Ten
problem
Hag.
there. I think he's not going to be given enough time.
Yeah, I agree.
can see what he's trying to do.
Genuine, mate.
I genuinely like him. I genuinely like Ten Hag. I think he's a good coach.
Yeah.
I just don't think that's the right club for him. They need someone who has
There's
got
not
a
a
thick
lot of
skin.
managers out there that
Yeah.
you're right. You need a thick skin. You need someone with a bit of balls that can.
Ancelotti.
Ancelotti.
Conte
yeah.
would have been one.
I think Conte. The only thing is, if I was a Man United fan, I'd just be sick of seeing just dead football. I was like as a Chelsea fan. Oh no, sorry. Chelsea have experienced it over the years. Jose Mourinho,
Yeah.
Antonio Conte, and all that. So I meant to say more Spurs. They were getting like Nuno Espirito Santo was defensive football. Conte was defensive football. Mourinho was defensive football. Finally, they bring in Big Ange. He probably gave him the most success for a while.
Absolutely.
Not since Pochettino days.
Make it make sense then. This is how Daniel Levy is. He walked in and about 80% of that squad was ready to play his style of football. Yet he had about 3 defensive managers in a row.
I know.
Him and Todd Bowley should just like, they're the exact same person.
Yeah, Daniel Levy's a hard baller as well. Some of the stories here about him and his transfers.
He's ridiculous.
Before we move on to United, you know what I found disgusting? As a club owner, yeah, you're at your home ground. Kovacic scores the second goal. You got about 10, 15. He just walks off.
Yeah, what happened with that? Did he just didn't watch the rest of the
For
game?
me, he's actually at Bella Vista now. If you want to go, come ask him. It's disgusting. It's disgusting,
Yeah.
mate. He guaranteed bopped on his jet, went back to his family, and went, you know what? F- it. I made a mistake. F- it. Now, how disgusting is that?
It's massive.
Before we move on, I just want to ask you a question about City.
Yeah.
Pep's possibly on his way out at the end of the year. KDB's possibly on his way out. What's the future looking like? Can they win it?
I've always said this. I said I think the time Arsenal win the league is when Pep goes. Like I did say before, I think
So it's
Arsenal.
next year. That's unfortunate.
Yeah,
Sorry.
that's. I think as long as he's here, we just never. I just feel like just never gonna win it. The guy knows how to get out of every single situation. I think at this point, and it pisses me off because I'm like, what do you need to do with this team anymore? You won the treble that you were looking for so long to get that Champions League. Just leave. Just go.
Corruption never wins.
And if you said to me at the start of this transfer, I genuinely thought De Bruyne was gonna go.
Yeah.
Now he's staying on a little bit more. And every single season at the start, you think De Bruyne is washed.
Nah.
He then just turns it on. At the Emirates last year, he looked half the player.
He got the fresh fade, and then he came back.
And then,
went,
and then
bang.
he got that long hair. Cooked, bro. Cooked. I think, I don't know if you remember it, 21-22 when Rodri scored that last minute winner. De Bruyne looked so trash that game. I go, that's it. Finally, Man City, they're falling off. That was the
the
big
game
turn.
that made us believe.
Yeah,
I still remember.
that was when I was like, I'm on Arteta for the rest of it.
I've, with all honestly, and
Yeah.
swear to God, from day one I backed him. I've
Yeah,
seen
I
what he's
agree.
trying to do from the start,
Yeah.
and there was a lot of people that were like, "Oh no, he's got." When we were sitting last after 3 games,
Yeah,
No,
when we had City, or we had Brentford, then Chelsea, then City.
City, and then we beat Norwich. I think it was 1-0 or
Yeah,
whatever
yeah,
it was.
away
That's
from
a tough run. That's a tough run.
Like,
Oh, home, and that was at home actually, Ramsdale.
look, I agree. I think Pep has to go for us to quote unquote dominate the league, but it would be a statement this year.
100%.
We just send him off with a big
100%, and I do agree with you with that. Is that you want that because if he goes and you win it,
Everyone's
it's
gonna
gonna
be
get an
like-
asterisk. It's like the same with Liverpool, man. Like they were killing that league. They won it in COVID, and now everyone, oh, you won it in COVID. Like you just want to win it without a mark on the record.
You know what else could be an asterisk? Your invincible season. Sorry, we'll get on.
Oh, here we go.
United
Here
versus
he goes.
Fulham, 1-0. For me, United, top 6 this year. Guaranteed. For me, top 4, question mark.
Yeah.
Fernandes looked good. Surprisingly, my ex-boy, Mason Mount, did okay.
Yeah.
Now, for me, we had, I was going to say we had Zerky on the podcast. That would be an update. I went, mate, Zerky for me, last week he came out, he goes, I'm not a 9, I'm a 10, I'm a 9.5. I don't know if it's speaking about shoe sizes or here, for sake. What was your thoughts on Zerky? For me, he came on, looked decent.
Look, the thing is with Xerxes, I saw it in the interview after, and I was like, he does seem, someone said he seems like a bit of an airhead. He just doesn't care. And you know what? But I love it because that's what United need. They need someone that's not going to fall under the pressure.
Yeah.
Someone that's like
point.
that finish was a bit, like, it was a little bit lucky, but it was a bit nonchalant. Just stuck his little toe out. And put it out there. And even when he came on, he was fitting a bit deeper. I even think the goal, I think he picked it up about halfway. Yeah. A bit more in the halfway line. It was more De Bruyne. Bruno Fernandes did that good turn down the byline, the sideline. But yeah, look, I think Rasmus Højlund was a bit of a failure last year. I don't think a lot of people are talking about that as well.
Fitness-wise, though, he struggled. This is the thing. He had a lot of niggling injuries, a lot of the same injury throughout the season. I like him as a player. Do you remember when he came on for his debut against us?
I honestly think that's when he had the most threat I've ever seen him at. Was that game he came on? We had Gabriel was the only way we could actually stop him physically.
I've always said this. When you play against Saliba and he's struggling physically against you, you've done well.
Absolutely.
The only other person I've actually seen physically make Saliba struggle is Nicholas Jackson.
Oh, for fuck's sake. No, please.
I don't know if you remember the game.
What, at Bridge?
I think it was at the Bridge.
Bro, we struggled that game at the Bridge.
Yeah.
That doesn't get talked about a lot. That was actually really... We got bailed out there, the Declan Rice goal. Who stuffed up? Was it Kemba?
Robert Sanchez passed us.
Robert Sanchez, yeah.
That game, hands down, we had... No, we should not have gotten a point from there.
Mudryk, mate, what a player. Bro, Nicholas Jackson's a massive call against Saliba. Garnacho Haller in front of goal. Should have been.
Oh, yeah.
Big time, man.
They should have scored a few goals. I think Bernd Leno made a couple good saves. I think Bruno Fernandes squandered a couple as well.
Yeah. Always does, Fernandes. How he does
Bernd Leno made some couple good saves that game, but yeah, Garnacho's got to be scoring.
Can I say, we've got a lot of ex-keepers in the Premier League that used to play for us now.
Yeah, what? Fabianski,
Martinez, Leno, Turner, Ramsdale's about to leave.
Yeah. Wow. We're going to have a quarter of the league of Arsenal goalies.
Where's he going? Ramsdale, where's he going?
Wolves, apparently.
Yeah.
For Jose Sarr?
Yeah.
Jose Sarr's good. I remember because Jose Sarr was alright at Olympiacos.
You were linked with him, weren't you?
At
one stage?
Jose
Jose Sarr, I think so, yes.
Okay,
After the goal, Leno.
I just knew, like, from the Greeks, man, they all hype up Jose Sarr from Olympiacos. I had a cousin that hated him for some reason. Okay. And then, he had a great season with Wolves last seasons. But, I agree with you. I don't know if Ramsdale... Like, I think a lot of Arsenal fans have a soft spot for him, but I think David Raya is better. Am I going to sit here and go, David Raya is a world-class goalie? No, he's not. No. But I think the way David Raya can start an attack, not even just with his feet, his arm is crazy. He'll find the winger's foot straight away.
I don't know who it was, but straight to Saka. I shit you not. Probably landed on the halfway line.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's his arm that is crazy. Yeah. But the sad thing is, Ramsdale had that in his game when he came into Arsenal.
I think he had too many shaky moments.
Yeah, too many mistakes.
And his range of performance was there. Yeah. Raya's at least is a bit more there. You know, a bad Raya performance isn't going to be nowhere near as shambolic.
Yeah, correct.
Do you know how sometimes always say, like, you know when you're watching a professional APL game and then you're watching like highlights back of your own Sunday League game, something just doesn't look right. Like the way you hit a ball, the way the goalkeepers dive. Ramsdale is the epitome of something I go like, they've just pulled out a Sunday League goalie. He just does something that's so rash and doesn't look, he looks so irrational. He doesn't look like a professional.
Can I give you the best example?
Is it the short sleeve goalie? I don't know. No.
I'll tell you the best example and you'll be like, Josh Reynolds at the Bulldogs.
Yeah, but Josh Reynolds is like, he was just a grub, man. That was his role.
I don't think he got that one up.
No. Look, I love my NRL, but Josh Reynolds was just like, put his head down and just ran.
But it was the little, like, he'll get it done, but it just doesn't
look... I do agree with you, because at the end of the day, Josh Reynolds was a grand final half at one point, and he didn't feel like it, though, anyways.
Aaron Ramsdale was a championship winning
goalie,
mate.
Yeah,
I think it's a big difference.
Also made the mistake, the one game I went to the Emirates to watch, he made a mistake against bottom of the table in the first 60 seconds. I'll still never forgive him for that.
What about the game that Declan Rice pulled him out a few times off? came out, passed the ball straight to the player in front of him. Declan Rice
What was
was
the
back
one?
there.
He stuffed up against Brentford as well
Yeah.
last year. Yeah, Fulham
Against his
at
old
home.
team.
Look, he's just too shaky. Once he makes one mistake, you're gone. My only thing with Raya is sometimes his presence in the box.
There was times last year he was very shaky.
Very shaky.
Towards the start.
We nearly passed Man City the ball at one point at the Emirates.
Yeah, he tried to kick
Spurs
through
game.
it.
Yeah. He does look shaky at times, but I'd have him every day of the week over.
Absolutely. Now, Nick, listen, we got a thing for you. We've got the debut of the Lightweight Athletic Club Player of the Week.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, my team lost, then my other team lost. So unfortunately, it's going to have to go to an Arsenal player. I was thinking Havertz, but then I went, no, Abs, we're going to have a guest on. Our guest is going to pick. Nick Stav, take it away. Who is your Lightweight Athletic Club Premier League Player of the Week?
There's a few options here, like smoky ones, like you said, actually just sort of. But then Kovacic actually was really good in that Man City game, even outside of the goal. Played well. Underrated. What was his name for Man City? Savinho.
Yes. Yeah. Look,
That
all right.
guy, on my days, someone said it online. I've never been able to get in my head. He's a Riyad Mahrez.
Yes, I saw that, yes.
Number 20. The way he moved, the way he dropped the shoulder.
His touch.
Yes, very underrated. Very underrated. But I think I'll go to my boy Bukayo Saka. I think he looked levels above on that pitch against Wolves.
Goal and an assist.
Yeah, even outside of the stats, every time he got the ball, we felt like something was going to come through Bukayo Saka. There was one time he even chopped it back onto his left foot in the box. He probably got unlucky not to score that there, but he probably did the harder part, right?
Yeah.
But I thought Bukayo Saka was Arsenal's man of the
Star boy,
match.
mate.
And
I agree
my
with that.
player
I
of the
agree
week.
with that. I think even, mate, he didn't come off limping at least.
Oh, man, I hate that stuff, man. Look, I find it funny, but he's our boy, man. He's our boy, Bukayo.
Well, look, let's run through La Liga quickly. So Barcelona beat Valencia 2-1 on the weekend. A Valencia header on the back of the net was disallowed, ruled offside. Only for VAR to come in and say, you know what? Guys, you
Barcelona,
scored.
man. Barcelona.
Of course.
Right. And then Barca came back with a Lewandowski brace. Now, we've got a few questions there. Do you think Lever's still got it?
When I was watching him the last season, I thought he was kind of washed. I've always been a big Lewandowski guy ever since those couple seasons at Bayern where he should have been in the Ballon d'Or.
Correct.
That Ballon d'Or
They should have
race.
won it that year.
Yeah, I thought he was just so sharp in the box, both feet, poacher. But the thing is, a Lewandowski, I just look at him and go, he's just not a Barca player.
No.
You know what? You know when people spit a
yeah.
prototype, and I think Barcelona have gotten to that stage where they're not Barca anymore.
No.
And-
It's a whole new identity for them.
Yeah.
They're going through a find yourself,
Yeah.
like you go to a meditation retreat in Taiwan. You go and find yourself. you know who else is trying to find himself? Ilkay Gundogan. Are we experiencing a title to run Gundogan back at City? What's happening here?
Gundogan, he's a
33 as well, man.
He's
But
a beast.
why has he requested a transfer back to? Am I,
At this point, I'd request a transfer back from Barca.
mate? Hansi Flick is doing all right.
Look, he is, but you also don't
Yeah,
want
and
to
a
be.
German manager as well, when you think about it as well, is quite odd.
You don't want to be caught in the wind of that start of a new manager who's joined a club that's in a little bit of a turmoil.
It's a German connection.
Yeah.
That's what doesn't get me.
Doesn't click.
If we want to get into the politics of the Germans with Ozil and Gundogan, it's a bit.
I think we'll leave it on. Yeah, I think we'll,
That's
I
true.
think we'll-
That's true. That's true.
I think that might be, but I'm not going to get into that. To be fair with you,
I think this way we move on to Real Madrid. To be honest.
Yeah. Look, I was going to mention as well. Shout out to Mark Burnell on debut, 17 years old. He's been through in Barca's academy for 11 years, man, since he was 6.
That academy just churns out absolute superstars. I don't get it.
I don't know where they keep getting them from, man.
It's like when you're playing Karuma and just players are just respawning. It's like when we had Gavi and Pedri just respawn after Iniesta and Xavi retire. Like,
Ricky Puig just casually goes to MLS because he can, even
and
though
he was good. I
he
thought every
was
time I used to see him.
talented.
as
He
well.
was the OG like star boy for him. I
Yeah,
remember when
he
he
was a
first
career mode
came
gem.
through.
He was a career mode gem.
Oh mate, there you got Pedri and I think Gavi. I think Gavi's gonna eventually move.
Yeah,
I have a feeling he's gonna go overseas.
One thing I like about Gavi, he just has a little bit of a dog in him, man. I
like
like
him.
that. He's like that. When you think of Barca, you think of pretty football, but he's got a little bit of dog in him as well.
You know who you like? I think you like that. I know you said it to me before, and I'm sort of stealing your word. That Lucas Torreira mold.
Yes.
Explain to me
I
why.
love it. Look, I said I'm 6'5". I am more of a smaller prototype.
He meant 6'5".
Yeah.
That's-
Going through my years, I've always just loved those number 6s that are just small and just win ball.
Yeah.
Look, outside Arsenal, N'Golo Kante was one of my favourite players growing up. That guy just didn't stop going. Lucas Torreira, win ball, just plays with heart and that can win the ball. It's like, it adds a different dynamic to the game because I've gone through these years of watching Arsenal where we're finishing 5th, 6th, 8th, and these players just lack a little bit of grit.
You're sitting next to him.
Yeah.
The goat himself.
The terrier, mate. Don't worry, I've heard of himself, man. The terrier. But I just love players that not only can be good on the ball, but win ball as well.
Absolutely.
Because it just shifts the momentum of the game. It really does.
I agree.
Yeah.
That's what Real Madrid were missing for me. Camavinga for me was that sort of, he's a little bit taller. But, man, ever since his injury, Tchouameni for me hasn't got that.
He's too in the motions
Thank
as well.
you very much.
Yeah.
Very laissez-faire, doesn't care.
Yeah,
glides
no,
on
I
that.
agree.
Look, I don't like this two in the motion.
No.
term
Relax,
too
mate.
much.
He
I don't like.
He
no.
said Havertz once
Listen,
and now you can't.
one
relax
of
yourself.
my favorite players of all time is Mesut Ozil.
Yeah, and my opposite to that, I'm not a big Mesut Ozil Arsenal guy.
Oh, here we go.
You're
I'm
an
not.
Alexis guy.
I'm a Lexus guy, but that, like, even that, do you know I thought was a better midfielder for Arsenal? I thought Santi Cazorla was 10 times the player playing at Arsenal
Yes.
than Mesut Ozil was. But he never got that respect.
Top 10 underrated player in the Premier
Yeah,
League of all
100%.
time. But Mesut Ozil was underappreciated. What he could do on the ball. Okay, you give Mesut Ozil that team we have now.
I take Martin Odegaard. I would take Martin Odegaard. I think Martin Odegaard has achieved more on this Arsenal side than Mesut Ozil.
Odegaard.
Oh, come on.
Wait,
Mesut
wait,
Ozil,
100%.
hold on. Mesut Ozil signs with the club and within a season leads us to a cup, though. We haven't won a trophy in about 8 years.
I wouldn't even say he was big impact on that. No, he wasn't.
Come on.
If that was 13-14.
What about-
Santi Cazorla scored the goal in that
He
game
did.
that changed
And we
the
were
affair.
behind as well.
Aaron Ramsey was our demon that year.
What about the
13,
season
14.
after? What about the season after?
15-16
Where
was
he
his year
absolutely
cooked.
mopped the floor with everyone. And
But-
then Giroud forgot how to score for the next 12 games.
Yeah,
and
but he's had like 15 or 14 assists until December, and then only could get like 2 until the end of the year. Look, Mesut Ozil was a great player.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, Mesut Ozil was a once-in-a-generation player. He'd see things other people couldn't see.
Correct.
He'd put in a ball, he'd slip in. He was magical on the ball. That's the only word I can describe with him.
Yes.
But when the shit hit the fan, he wouldn't turn up.
Walked,
Those
yeah.
big 6 games, you can't give me 3 big 6 games where Mesut Ozil turned up because he didn't. He
He's not wrong.
ghosted.
He's not
He
wrong.
ghosted most big 6 games. And I think I was speaking to the Let 'Em Shoot guys. I was saying, when we beat Chelsea 3-0 at the Emirates, that Chelsea side was a 4-back Antonio Conte side. When does Antonio Conte play 4
No,
at the
look,
back?
fair enough.
And do you know what also rubbed me the wrong way with Mesut Ozil? We'd lose that game and he'd get the shits. He'd get subbed off. He'd get his gloves. He'd throw them at the bench. He'd stamp his
but-
shoes. Like, bro, what were you doing
But
for
Nick,
60 minutes in that
but
field?
he was also one of those players that he had enough creativity and enough, specialty about him that you're able to carry.
When did he use
But
it?
the problem is, hold on.
When did he use
Hold on. But the problem is, since Patrick Vieira left, from then up until we signed Thomas Partey,
Patrick
we had
Vieira.
no one behind him.
Yeah.
No one decent behind him.
I know what you're saying.
So how do you carry someone like Mesut Ozil when you're playing, let's just say, who was it, Francis Coquelin behind him for God knows how many years?
I know what you're saying in that sense, but what I'll rebuttal to that is what player like that is in this world in a big side that people do accommodate for. I can't name you one, and if I were to give you one, I'd say maybe Messi at World Cup 2022. You had Enzo and you had DePaul doing the dirty work for him.
100%.
But other than that mold of a
football's
player
changed.
just doesn't work.
Yeah, 'cause
But
football's changed.
But Odegaard is still so creative, yet will run his socks off for the
Yes,
team. And that's why I'm saying to you, in this day and age, I will still take Martin Odegaard. I reckon if I told you, you asked Mikel Arteta, say, give me peak of his powers, Mesut Ozil, or give me this Martin Odegaard right now, I can guarantee you
he's right.
he will take Martin
In
Odegaard.
terms of, yes, because peak Mesut Ozil had runners at Real Madrid. Runners for it. Because literally, they'd sit there, they'd defend, he'd be that one guy, give him the ball, and he'd hit Ronaldo on the run 9 times out of 10.
Yeah.
That's all he needed to do, and that's what he was good at. So people, they misunderstand him enough to the point where they're like, he doesn't run off the ball. He didn't need to.
But I more look at it and I go, if I have to accommodate for a player, that's an asterisk on that guy.
But
really.
depends on the
It
player
can't be
as
one
well.
of the best
Depends
players
on
in
the
the
player.
world if you got to do that. Unless you're Lionel Messi. That's
That's
at
different level.
35, 36, what he was doing at the World Cup, you are going to accommodate for a player of that level.
course,
But Mesut Ozil, as good as he was on the ball, he's not going to grab your goals like Lionel Messi would as well. That's
No.
the difference.
No.
For me, and this sounds from outside looking in, Santi could grab a game
Oh.
and change it.
Yeah.
Ozil would flick a pass with a little no look or a little bouncy one on a trampoline, and a bummer or lacquer will change.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you can't.
That's your
can't.
difference.
Hold
That's
on.
And Alexis Sanchez, man, all my days, people don't give respect in the sense that I've never seen a forward defend like he did in an Arsenal
yeah.
shirt.
He was-
So you were watching him do that, and then you're watching Ozil put his hands down and start crying when he gets subbed on after he's doing no
Yeah,
run
but-
in that game. It did rub us the wrong way.
Okay.
I think people, like, when you look back on things with nostalgia, you think about the good stuff. But when you isolate what Ozil actually did in an Arsenal shirt, didn't really achieve much at all.
But when we had players firing and we had the team working around him, we saw him. I think it was 17 assists in the space of 19 games.
Yeah.
That's insane.
And then for the
Yeah.
later part of that,
But Thomas, we've established. You're gonna make that point. We've established that he never had the tools to be able to play like he did at Real Madrid at Arsenal. He never had the DM behind him. He never had the striker that could get him behind and get on the end of those balls like someone else did. Okay, you give him those tools, and we saw at Real Madrid he was able to finish his chances.
Yeah.
Like that's what I'm trying to say. He was able to make the most of his surroundings. Whereas now, people are gonna shit on him because he had his last 2 seasons were
It's not
turmoil.
shitting on him,
There
but-
was
I wouldn't even
people
say
do.
that, but I wouldn't
Man
even
City
say-
fans don't talk about David Silva that way.
No, but
David Silva.
David Silva, I think, had a different aspect to his game than Ozil. I think David Silva seeked the ball more than Ozil did.
wanted
Ozil never looked for the ball. And sometimes, like, Eden Hazard, as a Chelsea fan, he was lazy.
Of course
he was
he was.
lazy, but when he got the ball, he'd go, let me change the game. Let me run at players. I'll take them on.
Yes.
Where any player that's good, at the end of the day, is going to need good players to go around him. They're going to have better performances. I know Ozil at the end of the day is a player where he's going to need a player in behind, someone working for him. But if he needs 3 or 4 players that are going to have to do his job that he can't, I'm not going to have that player on my side.
But he also, the reason why people occupied for him, I'm going to leave it on this point, is that he could make that one pass, and that pass is on goal.
Yeah.
Not 8 passes out of 10 will find you 1-on-1 with the keeper. But unfortunately, we had Theo Walcott near the end of his career who couldn't finish. We had Olivier Giroud, who I don't know what the hell happened. Even when he went to Chelsea and won the Champions League, didn't score much there. And then when he went won a France World
Danny
Cup,
Welbeck.
he didn't score. Danny Welbeck, who was on one leg. And then Alexis Sanchez, who really didn't need Mesut Ozil. Done it all on his own. So when you turn around and tell me if you were to give Mesut Ozil the tools, we'd be having a very different conversation.
are we
right
finished with the Arsenal podcast?
now. Mate, we've had enough. We've had enough.
We're arguing on Arsenal. We're not even
No,
talking.
I'm liking it, bro. Honestly, I'm liking it. I don't know many Arsenal fans either.
Yeah.
So it's aside from
All right,
a few
we're
in
changing
the
the name UBA. You know what Arsenal. Real Madrid versus Mallorca. Listen, for me, we know Mbappe hit the post, but they didn't make it easy for themselves. For me, this is a peak reminder of. It could be too early, Nick, but we're looking at a PSG 2021, 2022.
You reckon?
They've had all the stars. They had the Avengers Assemble photo there. For me, I don't know. I don't know. You got the Rodrigo
I don't
rumors.
know. I think Kylian Mbappe is the best player in the world by a landslide.
Oh, get out of here, man.
Who do you think's better than Kylian Mbappe?
Nah,
What?
nah.
See, I'm a big.
Wait, it's Havertz. I'm just is Havertz?
No, it's not Havertz.
Who is it?
You ask me?
Yeah.
It's Jude.
What the
Oh, come on.
Oh, no, mate. Oh,
Oh,
that's-
I love Jude Bellingham.
I
I
just-
do. I think in the moments he's great. But watching him during that Euros, you can see sometimes that he doesn't have the ability, like I said, to get on the ball and change. Kylian Mbappe can get the ball from 20 metres outside the 18-yard box, takes on 6 and score the goal himself. I always say this to people in this situation. I always say, if Tchouaméni and Kingsley Coman score their penalties and a couple of Argentina guys don't, this is the script for Kylian Mbappe. Not only does he score a hat-trick in a World Cup final, he then wins it off arguably the greatest player of all time in his legacy-defining game. Then you're going to have Kylian Mbappe not only win the World Cup, 2 by his 23, I think at that stage, be the top goal scorer in knockout history and World Cup history at 23. That, when you look at that resume, just in four years playing at the World Cup, that is a guaranteed top 5 player of all time. Then you watch what he can do on a ball. Just his acceleration alone can beat 5 players.
we
Let
need
that man
to
preach,
see-
brother.
And then put up 60 goals a year.
Okay, but we need to see more of that.
But
You've
what-
seen
what-
Jude for 1 year.
No, hold on.
Jude whips
hold
out
on,
one
hold
bicycle
on.
kick against Slovakia, and it's like he's a Ballon d'Or.
Look.
If Kylian Mbappe wasn't at PSG those last 4 years, he'd have 4 Ballon
I
d'Ors.
don't usually do this. I'm going to take back my words. It's not Jude Bellingham. I think if he's fit...
Oh, brother, you don't know. You don't know anything.
No.
Are you serious?
No. I said Jude under pressure. I said Jude under pressure. I'll take it back. I think right now, if he's fit, if he's 100% fit, it's De Bruyne.
What the fuck?
Look. It's hard to compare a midfielder to a winger. That's why I do understand. De Bruyne IQ wise can grab a game. I will. I've always rated De Bruyne. That's when people sometimes go, Ozil better than De Bruyne. I look at De Bruyne and go, that guy.
As time went on, I can turn around. And
he's
be
just
like,
a game changer. He can find the pass, 2 feet, bang it from outside the box. Hey boys, when we need it, when shit's at the wall, back's against the wall, let me give me the ball and I'll change it. But Mbappe has that in his game.
I just need to see, for me, I think I've seen it with France, that maturity where he grabbed the game by the scruff of the neck and just went for it. I need to see it more often. I know he's got it in him. I just need to see consistency.
I'll argue that, and I look at that PSG when he had Neymar and he had Messi. He was the best player in that three. That leg where they lost to Real Madrid, that was not his fault.
God, no, it wasn't.
Messi missed that penalty. He scored that beautiful goal at the Bernabeu, got ruled offside, but he just inside out. He cooked their whole team individually at that age with those quality players. We'll go, Messi and Neymar, best player in the world.
23 years old, by the way, when he did that.
Exactly.
My thing is, I just see ego.
What?
And not in a good way.
Look,
brother, when you're at that level, you're going to have ego. For me, a better comparison is his teammate Vinicius Jr. For me, it's between them two.
Yeah.
And listen, it's very rare for a midfielder to get the Ballon d'Or. That's why Jude was a ludicrous outclaim. Even De Bruyne.
No, De Bruyne, no, Thomas. But it's not. There's goals, and it's like goals at the end of the day. It's because you score goals and you can dribble past this person, dribble past that person. Doesn't always mean you're the best player on the team.
Absolutely.
De Bruyne, with one pass, with how he can play, with what he can do, can change the game like no tomorrow.
You're a number 10 merchant. I get it.
No, and so can Jude.
One sec. Rude. Rodrigo.
Look, at the end of the day, Rodri, is he the favourite to win the Ballon d'Or? Is he at this moment? I think they'll give it to him because no one else has really actually done. Rodri is a number 6. He's great. He's great. Midfielders are brilliant. But at the end of the day, what football is about is those moments where they can change a game. And not only that, Mbappe is consistent. He's putting up 50 goals and assists a year, years in, years out at that young age. He's at like, 24, 25 now. Yeah. He's aging on. But now in this Real Madrid side, now that he's going to be getting a lot more service around, not only in the front line, going to have a strong back line and a midfield now.
Yeah.
When he gets to those games in the Champions League final where Real Madrid's backs are against the wall, Kylian Mbappe is a game changer. Kevin De Bruyne, I do agree with you. If you said football IQ, control the game, I could agree with you. But I will always value someone that's a game breaker, like Mbappe, higher than just anything a number 8 or a number 6 or number 10.
Yeah, but it's De Bruyne and even Jude have that where they're more than just a number 8. They're more than just a number 10. You got that, like even from deep, they can change a game. Wherever they are with the ball at their feet, you know something's going to happen.
Yeah, I think Jude's a good player, but I think growing up, I've seen better midfielders than Jude. And that's what I'm saying. Like, it's a bit hard because in the generation we are, I think any Vinicius, Rodri or Bellingham that's going to win this Ballon d'Or, in history books, they're not going to look great compared to the other players. That's why it's hard to judge, and it feels like I'm discrediting, even though they're great players. But I just look at Mbappe, and he's the only one that stands out from this generation where I feel like we'll talk about him for years on end when we grow up.
He's that little sparkle that none of them else have for me.
No.
So between, you got Jude, you got Vinny, you got Mbappe, you got Gula, you got Hendrick, you got Rodrigo even. You could build 2 front threes with that. How far can this team go, Stav? Are they winning La Liga and are they winning the Champions League?
Look, they should be the favourites to win everything. They should be. On paper, they should be.
Okay.
It's ridiculous, this lineup they've got.
Yeah.
Could it be a PSG 2.0? Yeah, it could. 100%.
That's my
100% it could be. Because the front three, if I do look at it, I go Mbappe, Vinicius and Rodrigo, they all naturally look like wingers.
Yeah.
That's what
they're all on the left.
Yeah. They're all naturally wingers. So if they can get it to work, yeah, Ancelotti, go for it. But I still say they have to. I think any team with Kylian Mbappe is going to be a top 3 favourite in the world.
Also, people forget now it's a young team. Tchouaméni, Camavinga, Jude Bellingham, Mbappe, Vinicius Jr. and Rodrigo are all, I'm pretty sure, no one's older than 25.
No, 100%.
But that back line is all above 25.
Yeah, you got
that's your difference.
Alaba, Courtois.
And Rudiger will save your games.
Yeah, 100%.
Brother, Eder Militao, one stage was the best young talent in the world, that Porto.
You must be not happy that Rudiger left Chelsea when he did.
I'm not happy about anything, to be honest.
Yeah, I think he probably contributed to that landslide.
For me, if he's not there, we don't beat Madrid in that semi-final. For me, we had no chance against City. For me, people forget, it was actually him that played the pass to Chilwell, that gave it to Mount, to Havertz. That's your difference.
Yeah. It was more of I look at that goal, go, that's an Edison mistake. But I think defensively...
We didn't talk about that. It was a Chelsea
Mate,
masterclass.
it was a team over in a masterclass, Dragon. Taking
don't you dare.
Ruben Diaz for a walk, mate.
Don't you dare.
The one thing I always loved about Rudiger, he had a bit of dog in him as well, like I said. But I said it before, Kyle Walker, he was so fast. I don't think he got enough respect for how quick he was.
Is he Rudiger?
On the break, he would cover for you guys so well. I remember that game where the debut of Romelu Lukaku, remember at the Emirates?
Yes, I
we had
do.
like Pablo Mari on him. And anytime he'd have a counter-attack, we'd have no hope just for the fact of Rudiger.
It's crazy how for that like 5-6 games, Romelu Lukaku looked like.
He was slim. He was slim and he looked good, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I feel like there's got to be some juju there.
Listen, he runs like a bit of a lunatic.
Oh, yeah.
But whatever he does, it works. Abs, take us through Serie A, mate.
So before we finish up, let's do a quick Serie A roundup. So Inter Milan kicked off their campaign with a 2-2 draw against Genoa. Thuram scored on either side of half-time, but Genoa in stoppage time scored a penalty and put the champs on the back foot from the start.
Antonio Conte, Stav, I don't know if you know this, mate, copped a 3-0
In the first half?
drubbing, Hellas Verona.
Yeah, I don't think they had Victor Osimhen though, eh?
But still, Hellas Verona.
Yeah, I know.
I think he's on his way out, bro. They're going to have him for a
Yeah.
while.
Bro, the season's just started.
I think he's on his way. Nah, look,
Where did
someone's...
Napoli finish it last year? They didn't finish well, did they?
Sixth or fifth.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
AC Milan.
Freaking... But no, I was going to say as well, that's 67% of the ball. That's crazy.
Look, mate, well, without Osimhen.
An Antonio Conte side. But yeah, AC Milan rescued a draw against good old Torino.
Mate, we got two crows there, mate. We got Borna Sosa and... I'll carry on, sorry.
This is not about Croatia, mate.
That's... Well,
Kravica.
it was UBA before. Sorry, Steph, what was that?
Krivitska.
Hrvatska, mate.
Yeah, but it's okay. I'm trying.
How do you say Greece in your
Elas.
name? Oh, shit.
That's how we say
With a H or with an E?
I think you can spell it either way. I think if you go by the Greeks, it's spelled E first, though. I think if you write it in English, it comes out with a H.
So it's Hellas.
Yeah,
Hellas, okay.
it can be. Yeah.
Hellas 04.
Mate, all I know is I've got some good paella with me today. So, AC Milan rescued a draw, mate. Alvaro Morata on debut.
For AC Milan, yes.
Love him, merchant. Yeah,
Did you see the goal? I don't know if you saw it. It just found its way to him and he just stuck his toe out. And it was
Average Morata goal.
It was a Morata goal.
Average Morata goal.
Absolutely.
They literally sold Giroud just to go and get Morata. It was like, I
I
don't know.
feel
what
like
you're
it is an
trying to-
AC Milan signing. I feel like they just sign
hard.
these like mid players.
Yeah.
Just always throughout, like since my childhood, obviously not back in the day. But yeah, I just feel like they just get these mid forwards. Always. I don't remember Fabio Borini. Remember him? He was from Liverpool back in the day.
Mate, the Liverpool
Average.
great himself.
Yeah.
To back up that point, they had 26 shots on target. 26 shots on goal that game.
Oh, there you go, Sam.
That was crazy.
Where do you find these stats?
Fun mob.
Foot mob. No, actually, no. Score. What's it called? Score goal or something like that.
There's a few of them we all use.
Yeah.
Everyone has their one go. I'm a FOT mob guy.
Brother,
Foot
same.
mob,
Foot mob, yeah.
Foot mob live scores, fair enough. But
Okay.
when it comes to
stats?
wise,
Okay,
there's
yeah.
certain websites. Sofa Score,
Super score. There's Opta score.
Opta Score,
Opta,
yes,
Opta,
Opta
Opta.
Score.
That's the one I remember that was good for stats.
Because especially last,
He's a stat merchant.
I'm
Oh,
a stat
yeah.
merchant, bro. I will go
Statman
in.
Dave.
Mate, Statman abs, mate.
Statman Dave still kick around.
Oh, bro, it probably does. For me, though, the performance of the round, mate, Atalanta. 4-0 against, let's say, in 30 minutes.
Wow.
Unbelievable. Pumped them. And we've got a Croatian brother there as well, but we'll carry on from that.
Pasalic, is he?
Brother,
Is
well
it?
done.
Yeah.
mate.
More knowledge.
Brother, you wouldn't know who that
I
brother
wouldn't know who that brother
That's
is, mate.
disgusting. For me, that wraps up Serie A this week.
It does.
Mate, for me, we're back with a bang. I'm waiting for the Bundesliga to slowly kick in. Waiting for our boy Irukunda to
Yes,
do well.
yes.
Irukunda, how many goals and assists do you reckon he gets? Does he get a start this year? What's your thoughts?
It's a hard prediction to say. You know what? I'll say like four goals and assists. I don't know how many games he'll
Does he
play.
get a start, you reckon? Towards the back end, maybe when the league's done?
I hope so. I can't give you a proper prediction, but Aaron Kunda's that one guy coming out of Australian football where I am very confident with. I think you looked at Garang Kuol, like, he had a bit of pace, a little bit of good on the ball, but no end product. Same with Daniel Arzani a few years ago. Good on the ball, no end product. This guy is just powerful.
He's different.
His pace, he's athletic. When he shoots, he nails it. And he not only is he just putting power on this, he's nailing it bottom corner, top corner. These are crazy goals.
Stav, can I say something? Sorry to cut you off.
Yeah.
You know how we say Ibrahimovic can only score these goals?
Yeah.
I'm going to say something really ridiculous now at the moment.
Yeah.
And I'll clip you. I don't really care. Thank you, Julian, for that one-on-one camera. Have you seen the montage where his first or 10 or 11 goals in the A-League, he's going from the top right-hand corner of the box to the top left. Some of the power in his shots and the direction and the like a fucking rocket missile, the way it doesn't move, it's just a bang. You can't even describe it as a knuckle. It's just a missile.
Yeah.
For me, Irakunda can only score some of those goals.
You know what? I back that. I back that.
The way he just does it, it's free. And he's awkward.
He is, yeah.
He's not like a laissez-faire, like a Havertz merchant. Yeah. It's just an absolute rocket. He's got the running style of a Torreira, but the accuracy of a Zlatan. It's incredible.
You know what, though? Touching on your point as well, I think he's different.
He is, brother. No, he is.
Where you look at Garang Kuol, he's very similar to those academy products you get, your standard academy products from the UK. Where you're quick, you can dribble, but you're not really going to get much out of him.
Yeah.
Aaron Kunda's just got that. You look at that wow factor, where you could play him on the wing, you could play him at striker. You're going to get something out of him at the end of the day.
100%.
And for him to go from here and actually now, I just think he's in contention. And
He is,
perfect
brother.
timing with Company being there. Because Company's going to look at him. He's going to be like, that's the youth. We've brought him in. We want to make something of him. And he's going to want to make a name on the back of him because it works out for Company, it works out for Aaron Kunda.
Yeah, I don't know if it's like a swagger or a confidence about Aaron Kunda, but I think they'll throw him in a sink or swim, and I think he'll swim. I'm just hoping he gets a chance. Don't give me these loan moves and then all that, like, cause that kills some of these footballers. But I'm just hoping for his sake he gets that moment because I reckon he'll take it.
Like for me, we had Sapre Singh from the A-League.
Yeah, and again, he's one of those...
Line moves, gone.
Yeah.
But we've got Gabriel Vidovic, Croatian there, sorry again.
Is he the goalkeeper?
No, that's Pavlicic. So he's Aussie, but we actually got a Croaky, Gabriel Vidovic from Croatia. He's in the 10, and you got Irakunda. They linked up in a couple of pre-season games.
Okay.
But for me, I'm excited for the German football. The French football is in dire strait. Have you heard their financial issues?
They can't even get TV right, so...
Yeah.
Bad.
No one wants to take him.
You wouldn't want to be a head of sales for the head of league.
Hey, can I say something?
Oh, my days.
I think we're in a better spot than Liga. We got Stav on, mate. We're doing good.
Could you imagine going to these broadcasts like, okay, so who are you going to show? You go, we've got 35-year-old Lacazette. we've got a Bamyang with half a hairline. He's all right, isn't he? Surely people are going to want to watch him. I feel it's tough. Because even Mbappe, just having him was a draw.
Yeah.
Losing him, that's massive. That is massive.
I mean, they've got the ex-Arsenal reunion in Marseille over there as well.
Yeah, I know.
Kolasinac there as well.
No, Guendouzi's not there.
Guendouzi just left
Lazio,
there.
yeah.
Like, we seem to be... Like, I don't know where Chelsea plays. Well, they're all going to Arsenal at this point. And all the Arsenal players are going to Marseille. So it's kind of working in tandem at this point.
Hey, where's Nuno Tavares? Is he Nottingham?
No, he went to Italy, didn't he? No. He left Nottingham, came back, and then we sent him to... Was it Sevilla?
Okay, was that him? Okay, I think it might have been somewhere in Spain.
We sent
he had
him
that
to-
little run stretch of games, and then Anfield away killed his career.
He was my favourite player in the All or Nothing documentary.
He was you know when you got like just someone that just doesn't look like a professional footballer. That was him running on the ball.
I felt so bad for him.
Yeah,
bro. You want to play Champions League, and he's looking right at him, and I'm like,
oh yeah, the West Ham game, yes, all or
That's my
nothing.
favourite.
you want to play Champions League? You want to play Champions League? When I lose the Jude.
And we didn't even make Champions League that season. Oh man,
It was
such a good documentary.
I just knew, like, as Arsenal fans, we cop it so much. We cop it. When they released halfway through that season, we're doing an All or Nothing TV show.
Cinema.
I'm like, it's going to be cinema, and I'm like, just for the memes, we're not going to make top 4. So it's going to be what All or Nothing. It's just nothing.
Nothing.
For me, though, the only thing that was a shame was my favourite player ever that's played for Arsenal, Smith Rowe, was your top goal scorer that year. That what killed
Was
him.
he top goal scorer?
21-22 was the top
He
goal
was
scorer.
top goal scorer.
21,
Wow,
22.
that was his best season.
Correct. And then injuries, and then you're never going to get back in a side with Odegaard.
Yeah, with all the depth in there.
No chance.
Look,
Stav, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on, brother. We've got another little thing lined up, which I'll let my good friend here with the Arsenal jersey on. Carry on.
we'll reveal that in the line.
But no, we thank the Corner Post, thank Jules, thanks Bella Vista, and we also thank our new sponsor, Lightweight Athletic Club, to come on and Abs, take it away, mate.
All right. Well, I've been Abs.
Pete Thomas, and our special guest today, and possibly coming back in the same clothes in about maybe 10 to 15 minutes, is
Nick Stav. Thank you, boys. Real pleasure.
anytime, brother.
Anytime.
Ciao.
Ciao.